Hello, Neha and Asif. How are you today and where are you dialing from, Neha?
Very good evening, Kate. And I'm dialing from Pune. It's a city in Maharashtra, India.
Great, Asif, and you?
Well, my name is Asif Osman, and I think I missed a few seconds of you guys. What did Kate say in the beginning? Was it something to do introduce ourselves?
No, I was just asking how are you today and where are you dialing from?
I'm very good. I'm from the Kingdom of Bahrain, and it's very hot still. In Bahrain.
Oh, it's already fall in Poland, and I'm pretty happy about it. Well, anyway, thank you
Right.
so much for joining my hot seat session today, where we help companies all over the world to address their blind spots and gain competitive edge with the help of our wonderful mentors, which is you. And today we're going to talk about marketing, which I personally love because I'm coming from marketing. And my first question goes to Asif. This is the one that you personally proposed, and I really liked. And it's the question, is marketing done the same way everywhere, or does it depend on geography and market segmentation?
Okay, that is an interesting question, and it's something that I like telling people about because for a long time now I've had marketing teams and marketing people that I work closely with or reporting into me, and what I've realized is that marketing does not work the same way everywhere because let's give you an example. Everybody knows that TikTok is a Chinese company and it's a marketing, it's something to do with marketing, right? But do you know that TikTok doesn't exist in China?
Yes,
TikTok itself does
yes,
not
they're
exist in
banned.
China. It's the most popular country where TikTok is used is the United States. India, of course, it's banned in India mainly for political reasons. But just goes to show you that marketing is not done the same in every country. And just to go closer to home, Bahrain, where I live, there's over 150 nationalities that live here, and 150 nationalities speak different languages, so you cannot market to them the same way. They come from different cultural backgrounds. So if you read something or watch a YouTube video which is something to do with marketing, and you try to apply that in a country which is culturally different, linguistically different, then you're probably likely to fall flat with no results. So you've got to be sensitive to geography. You've got to be sensitive to the culture of the country which you're marketing to. It's very challenging when you have hundreds of nationalities like we have in Bahrain, but you've got to adapt to that.
Thank you so much. And actually, I apologize because I completely forgot to properly introduce you. So before we proceed, Asif, please tell us a little bit about yourself and your
Oh, sure,
expertise.
yeah. So that's the part I missed, and I think Neha did a very short introduction. So I was hoping to catch some of that as well. But I'll introduce myself. I've been around in the Middle East, although I am from India, but I've been around in the Middle East since birth. So I have spent all my life in the Gulf, and there is something unique about living in the Gulf countries. That is, there is no other place other than Dubai and Bahrain where there are so many different nationalities that live here, and that is one of the great learning curves of my life, learning about cultures and different attitudes to different things. So just to give you a bit of my professional background very quickly, is I first worked in the aviation sector, and then I moved I've been very fortunate to work in different industries. Then I moved to something called loyalty marketing. Is something to do with loyalty programs. So our company, they were the largest loyalty program operator in the world, and I was part of the Middle East team. Then I worked in soft skills training. So some of the way I speak comes from the soft skills trainings that I used to do. And lastly, my professional role was as commercial director at a payment gateway company. So you might have heard of Saudi Aramco. Saudi Aramco is the world's largest oil exporter. So they funded a payment gateway company. So I work for them. So I've worked with marketing teams and marketing people a lot. I'm not an expert marketer myself, mostly catered to small, very small organizations that need marketing help. Those are my typical clients, and that's what I look for. AsifOsman.com is my website.
Thank you. Thank you. You have a really rich experience, and I appreciate hearing about this. And Neha, introduce yourself before we proceed with the question.
Sure, sure. Thank you. And Asif, I didn't miss. I was waiting for Kate to ask me.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so this is Neha Vatsala, and first of all, I'm a very proud Gleek mentor over here representing Gleek, and I really want to thank Gleek for this opportunity and making us feel such a key member of the community, even though we are so different at different locations and would have not directly contributed. So I just love that about Gleek. And I remember, there was a time when in 2021 when we were in beta version of the app, and that's when I was actually stalking Salian. How can I get her attention? And I just left her a message, and she was looking for mentors, and I'm very thankful that she offered me the role of a mentor, and it's been a history. I feel that I know all your releases and all the apps, and uh, getting personal attention from Salian is the one of the best thing about one of my it has impacted my personality also. So hats off to her and her team and her app. And otherwise, I'm an entrepreneur, and I have a company called What's Creation, which is totally into marketing and branding. So we are a one point solution of all your marketing and branding needs, digitally or in person. Because of COVID, we did some lot of digital work, but we are into field also. And we also provide you a strategy. Like, for example, you are not sure what is going to be good for you. So me and my team and my experts, irrespective of domain, so we have expertise in all the domain. If I cannot do it, I'll have a vendor who will be able to do it. So this is how my company works. What's Creation? It's fifth year anniversary, and I'm very excited to take this ahead. The other interest area which my company does and is my personal interest is totally into networking and community building. So it's apart from being part of my own company's community, I'm part of many other communities, and that helps me towards the end of the day, empower people, bring smile, and spread diversity, which is why I think I exist. And I ended up writing a book about it, that what are the things that has impacted me in my life, or what is that I'm going to do. So I'm very thankful that I have a little vision of what I want to do. And again, very excited to be here today.
I love that both of you have this exact expertise that makes you wonderful mentors, like soft skills training, communities, etc. This is amazing. But my question to Neha is something that I've personally encountered as a marketer myself. We know that in marketing, you cannot be generic. It's really important to have a personal touch.
Yeah.
But I know that with the rise of AI, all of this automation, it's getting, more harder and harder. So my question to you is, what steps or what strategies can companies use to still create content that is visible and engaging?
So I'll come back to you, to Gleek. This particular session itself is an example, right? Like the way we are talking and you are reaching out to the mentors and you have personalized the whole storytelling or the whole technology inclusion of the technology or the topic itself is one of the example. So any corporate, if they feel that they are not in touch with their customers, users, client, should start going online with them and talk to them, listen to their user stories or issues or whatever it is. I think that is one of the very important key aspect, that even if we have AI, we still continue to have that humane touch towards our approach towards whether it can be a partner or a end customer or anybody. The other thing which I really think will work for us is collaboration and partnership. So if it is too AI or anything which is very technical in nature, collaborations will be also very technical or very inhuman. But if you start doing it in person, or if you start collaborating for some initiatives or some kind of drive or some kind of empowering the society in a uh, topics. I think those things also bring a little humane touch towards our marketing strategy. And this is what my company expertises it, because if you go to the Google, there will be a lot of online or automated services. How do I customize it for my particular client, knowing their history, company's history, and what they want to achieve in next 10 years, is what What's Creation I feel is good at. We cater to people in fintech, we cater to people everywhere, and that actually helps me also to learn, what as a leader they want to see themselves in future. So depending on all this factor, we try to keep the humane touch in their strategy, whether it is advertisement, whether it is anything which we go for AI, whether it is content writing, we can use chat GPT now. Whatever it is, we try to, get back to the storytelling part of it and make it little human.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the answer. And now that we've mentioned, how important is to do the market segmentation, how important is to be personal, it leads me to the question that some companies, they do understand the importance of, being personal and using technologies, but sometimes they're just getting lost in this. So what are some common challenges that companies encounter when they try to use technology, but they do it sporadically without actual strategy to help them succeed? As if you can go first if you have any
Well, I
insights.
think that's a great question. Marketing is so different everywhere, and not every marketing company gets it right. For me, the question reminds me of the local scenario. There are three mobile operators in this country where I live. Out of the three, I realize I've used all of them at some point or the other, and I realize that one of them gets the human touch part, and they've balanced it right, because obviously everybody's got to take advantage of technology to reduce costs and to do things more effectively. But when you have a problem and you want to call your mobile operator and you keep getting a bot, and the bot is giving you answers which you're not happy with and does not satisfy you, the next thing that happens is you go berserk, and you want to talk to a human. But I
True.
noticed that one of the companies has got the balance really right, that when you can talk to the bot, get quick answers, but there is also a way to say, I want to talk to a human agent, and you click that button and you will be directed to a human agent. And the other two don't do that. They make it very, very difficult. Obviously, they're focused on saving costs rather than having that balance, and that balance is so important. And the other point I'd like to add is that, having the human touch in marketing is more important for some businesses than others. A very simple example: if you are a doctor, which is usually a one person business, a lot of people are one person clinics, and you're a doctor there, having that human touch is so critical. But if you're a mechanic or you're an online product store, human touch is not that important. It's important, but not that important as you would be as a doctor, where you can do things which are totally automated, but at the same time, not as critical as when, that personal touch is so critical. So it depends on the business.
Okay, and Neha, you
True,
have
true. I
something to
totally
add?
agree to what Asif says. Like, it is very customized, and, depends on what is our requirement and how we have to deal with the end users or the customers. But then with this advent of AI, and if in case I do not want to get into it, whatever stream I am or my company is, there are few things which I particularly feel is what we may lack, or what we will have to work hard will be like our process. So if it is something which is not using technology, our processes may get delayed, it may become insufficient. So it is very smart if I use that, whether it is a program management or whether it is coding or whether it is anything. So if any company does not want to do that, then others will take advantage, they will go ahead. The other thing which I also feel helps, or the company should will suffer if they do not take advantage of AI, is the communication part. So, for example, today, the way we are communicating, sitting in different locations, is an example of how we have used the technology, right? Even whenever Sally Ann or you guys come to India, it would not look like that we are meeting for the first time because we have used technology and we have kept the team together. So, communication improves drastically, especially after COVID now, if we use the AI and technology in a very nice way. And the final most important was is the customer. So if I keep writing to my customer or if I keep calling everybody back, and if I do not have some generalized or customized messages for them, or we do not filter their queries, then we will not be able to cater to all the queries or all the issues that they have. For example, I have 100 queries in a day and I have 10 employees to take care of it. It is not possible for you to close all, but quite possibly if we filter it and maybe 90 of them are very generic and we use some technology to get back to them. And then comes back to Asik's point that we also have to see that it doesn't have to be bot all the time. It doesn't have to be automated message. It has to be customized. So we have to do that filtering using a technology. So those kind of scenarios are the one where a company should play smart and use it in a balance. Whether it is use of chat gpt, whether it is use of any kind of tool, and use it for the benefit of the brand.
Thank you. So definitely, from what I understand, that it really depends on the company to what extent you should use technologies and to what extent you should implement a personal touch. But let's imagine that we're dealing with a traditional business and they're just new to the space. They're still lost in this process of figuring out what is needed more for them. What are some initial steps that, as mentors, you can recommend them to take to go from this, just traditional marketing into more advanced using technology, personal touch kind of marketing? Neha, you can go first.
Yeah, I love this question because this is my business pitch. This is what I tell to people. So the first and the foremost is train yourself. Be ahead of the time. And if and there's no use of the SCO or the CXO getting trained unless until he trains the whole team. And when I say train, it is the digital training which I mean. So I have, well, I won't name them, but I have CEO or CXOs who are doing awesome, but their LinkedIn is like 100 followers, though they are impacting 10,000 people. So they are the people, they need training. They just need some kind of tweeting, how to build their own personal brand. And then do let me or let my company or companies like me train their company to understand that how much is social media or digital presence is very, very important. So this is one of the thing I very, very strongly believe. The other one which I can add is the collaborations. Again, it's another my favorite thing, that how if I'm from a very traditional space and I want to really get into some more spaces or seen or become more technical in nature, let me collaborate with people who are little bit more technically aware, so that I get into their world. Though their followers or their users also get to know that okay, today I'm talking with Kate and Asif. Oh, so people know that we are talking about marketing. They are from the marketing world. Somebody who would have joined us now, they would know okay, they must be talking about marketing because that's the topic of the day. However, this is similar thing if we start collaborating with the correct partners, also helps us improve from a very traditional look to a very technical look. That's it.
Thank you. We have Philip in chat, and he completely agrees with you by saying that being ahead of time is so often overlooked, and many of us get caught in status quo. I absolutely agree with this. And Asu, do you have anything to add? Because I absolutely love hearing your examples. I feel like it's something that is
Yeah,
most memorable when it
yeah,
comes to
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
something.
Well, Neha obviously deals with some interesting clients. My clients, unfortunately, are not that interesting because the segment that I try to cater to are the smallest of the small, meaning that usually they are 1 or 2% businesses. And when they are 1 or 2% businesses, sometimes they do not know how to spell marketing, leave alone do any
Yeah,
marketing. So that
true.
is highly challenging. So obviously, there is not much money to be made, but I like doing that. I like helping people with the basics, and that gives me a sense of satisfaction. I'd like to quote Peter Drucker. If you haven't heard of him, you should look him up. He's a genius. And Peter Drucker, he died, I think, in the early 2000s. But he said something which has stayed in my head ever since I heard it. He said there are only two functions of business. One is marketing and the other is innovation. And all the others are just costs. Now, if you think deeply about it, even if you start a tea shop, I know if you come to Asia, you'll see tea shops everywhere because we love our tea. But even if you start a tea shop, you need to do some marketing. It might be one person, might be somebody who gets up in the morning, makes his tea, and sells it the whole day. Recently in India, I saw a picture of a tea shop that called itself Chai GPT. Now, if you, Kate, you're obviously from Europe, so chai is a word you may not know. Chai stands for tea, tea in Hindi, and he called this shop Chai GPT. That is a genius marketing. So even if you're a small setup, you can do some sort of marketing. And the challenge is to get people to say, I need help with some sort of marketing. And that is the first step. So that's what I try to talk to people about, saying that you can do something. Do not think of marketing as something where you need absolute expertise or even money. So it's just about thinking about what are the ideas that you can actually implement. And this is an example. Now over here, I recently worked with a building materials vendor. It's a shop that stays open for 12 hours a day, and it's one guy that runs it. So he keeps asking me, what can I do? What can I do? I told him a couple of months ago, I said, everybody that comes, take down his WhatsApp number. It's not like Europe. Everybody gives out their WhatsApp number over here. So he started doing that. And he told me recently, he said, that has been good because all I do is I send them some good morning messages or good afternoon messages once in a while. Or if there's a special offer or something new, I send them a picture of that. That's all he's capable of doing, but he does that and he's found results. That's marketing. So that is this kind of segment that I'm dealing with.
Thank you. Going back to your question, I didn't know about chai because in Europe the only thing you know is chai latte, which is absolutely not the tea.
Very good,
Well,
very good.
thank you, thank you. But before we wrap up, I absolutely love the energy of you being completely different, but both in marketing. So I would love to hear some closing words from you about marketing nowadays. If you still have anything to add, you're welcome.
Who goes first?
You go
Neha?
ahead, Asif.
All right, okay.
Oh,
So
Asif,
you
okay.
want to copy some of my stuff, eh? Yeah, Neha.
Yes, yes, you are
Well,
senior.
well,
I have to learn. I keep learning.
thank you. I feel very old. Thank you. Anyway, I like what is happening. A lot of people think of the technological changes as a threat, but that has been life for the past 50 or 100 years even. And I recently discovered a service. I'm not going to take their name because it might become like advertising, but I tested their service. It's a phone number. You can call that phone number and ask any question about that product, that company's product. The bot will answer in a very human like way. And I even tested it with people who have difficult accents, and the system is so good it understands even the accents and answers accordingly. It's only when you make it very difficult that it'll say, please repeat the question or can you paraphrase the question, but it understands everything. This is a computer being able to do that. So we live in that age where people are going to have to get used to this kind of thing, where customer service call center staff are in deep trouble because companies over the next couple of decades are going to adapt this technology, and things are going to change. So this is for the marketing teams as well. They're going to take advantage of this and be able to answer questions. So this is the way technology is changing. And the smallest of the small that I deal with, they're not even ready for AI. Leave alone AI. They're not even ready with the tech that is 5 or 6 years old. So I say the first step is discover, learn something, be proactive and learn some stuff. That is the first step. If you don't want to learn some stuff, it's very difficult to help you to develop your business in terms of marketing. So this is what I try to tell the segment that I'm dealing with.
I agree, and this is what we are in Gleek. we learn. Even if we have CEOs, executives, C suites, we still learn, because this is the most important thing, because the world will constantly change. And Neha, do you have anything?
Right. No, I totally agree, and I'm going to build upon what Asif says that, marketing is what? It is just like whatever you are, first of all, you need to accept. Then, you need to figure it out, whether it's a personal brand, whether it is a corporate, and then showcase it. Maybe showcase it to the power of 10x, 100x, depending on your caliber. Most important, are you ready to take feedbacks after that? I will not go into the market if I'm not ready to listen. I may just want to be happy in my own small shell. The day I am ready to take feedback, the day I'm ready to improve, the day I'm ready to change my app or change my services, that is where the role of marketing happens. Otherwise, it's okay. I have a small place, I'm happy. And these are the people who do not want to invest their time or money in marketing because they think they are the best. That is where we think, as a human also, as a person also, as a individual brand, we should be able to take feedback, use it for our growth, for our sales. At the end of the day, whatever we are doing should be done in a 10x way. I personally vouch for digital a lot more. In person is there always. There are some businesses who can grow only by in person marketing or traditional marketing, but the same thing with use of digital marketing, you can maybe go to 100x. So use those ways. And one very nice thing which I learned in a lot of my sessions and whenever I attend any of our onboarding sessions is like, if you're not good at something, outsource it. We try to do everything on our own, and that really is something which wastes our resource and wastes our time from whatever I'm good at. So learn to outsource, learn to find the correct people for your brand or for your company or for that job which you're not good at. So I'm not good with finance, so I have some 5 people who help me with finance, which is fine because I'm good enough to get more clients. I'm good enough to take care of them. So I think there are two things over here in marketing we should really, and that is something we can wrap up with, is that learn to accept, learn to take feedback, learn to grow, increase sales, and use of technology and use digital marketing to grow a little more than what you are.
Thank you. Thank you. This is such a great wrap up. I really appreciate you taking your time today to share your knowledge and insight, because this is also a great example of our marketing, of how we use personal touch and how we use technology to market something. So thank you so, so much again. If our audience enjoyed this conversation as much as I did, because I feel it's one of my best conversations I've had so far, I highly encourage you to check the caption and learn how you can work with Asif and Neha to solve your own business problems. Again, thank you for taking your time, and I hope you're going to have the best rest of your day.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Nice
much for
meeting
being
you,
such
Neha.
a nice host for us.
Good.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Asif.
All
Goodbye.
right.
Thank you
Take
for
care.
connecting us.
Bye bye.
Bye. Have a good day.